Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I appreciate everyone for joining today. Today will be the last Performance Analytics Academy session of the year. On December 29th, we will not have a session, but we'll pick it back up in the new year. So I just want to make sure that I pass that on to everyone. So quickly, I'll go over some logistical information and then we'll get right into the content that we have today. So as usual, this is for you. We try to bring fresh ideas and help you with some better understanding of the product and things that are in it as it's related to performance analytics. So please get out of this everything that you possibly can. This is recorded. It will be posted publicly on our YouTube channel as well as on the community as well. So this will be something for you to have the ability to go back to whenever that you need to. And then of course, if someone missed this, then it will be out there for them as well. If recording is an issue for your organization, even based on you asking questions in the Q&A, you might want to go ahead and drop now. But again, this will be out there publicly. Please utilize the Q&A. We have myself and of course the speaker Pooja that's on the call today, along with Tara and Dan. They are on my team as well. So we have a lot of people to answer questions today. So please feel free to ask those in the Q&A if you can. Try to stay out of the chat, but if there's some in there as well, we'll answer those as well. If there's questions that can be answered during the content, while the content is going on, we'll try to answer those by typing that answer out. If they are questions that come in that are related to the specific section of the content, then we'll go ahead and stop and try to ask those questions then rather than waiting to the end. Once we get to the end and we have an overall Q&A, we'll answer all questions that are related to the content first, and then we'll move on to an open question form so you can ask anything as it relates to PA and reporting. Again, my name is Thomas Davis, and today, like I said, we have Pooja Gupta that is on today, and she is with the Employee Experience Organization here in ServiceNow, and she's going to give us an overview of the Employee Center, and then we're going to talk about how PA and reporting can be utilized in that. This is a follow-up session to a session that we had about a month ago when we actually showed the Service Portal and reporting inside of Service Portal. And what Employee Center is the replacement to Service Portal. So with that, Pooja, if you are ready, you can go ahead and take over sharing, and we look forward to hearing everything that you have.
Thank you so much, Thomas. And it's very nice to speak with all of you today. And I hope you will enjoy the presentation on Employee Center. By now, I'm sure you have heard a lot about this term. So let's begin, and let's begin with why this has become like an important conversation that we believe everyone is having and should be having. So in the world that we are living in, improving employee experience is critical. It has always been hard to make sure that employees stay engaged and productive from wherever they work. But with the hybrid environment and the fact that they are mostly working from home, it has been really important to simplify processes and experiences so that they can get the services and can resolve their issues faster. It's with this lens that we launched Employee Center in Rome release. The way we like to describe Employee Center is that Employee Center is ServiceNow's new standard. And I'll expand on this. We say standard because it is available for all customers. It's truly multi-department and is designed to scale to support the movement from IT to HR to the workspace or any of the other departments. It's designed for scale. And then it is dynamic, and I'll expand on this further. It essentially curates the experience that is created for the end user without having to create new pages or creating that experience over and over again for the admin. And it is, of course, designed not just for service delivery, but also for employee engagement. And all of these terms that you're hearing right now, we will go deeply and discuss in our session today. So I hope you have questions and you will ask them as we go through. Now, the vision that we have behind Employee Center is to actually provide customers a unified employee portal, which is modern in nature. And customers are essentially asking for that. They're asking for a portal experience that scales from service delivery to enterprise service delivery to being an employee destination site or modern intranet. And a lot of our customers are in their journey to go towards it. And typically they would start from just an IT services to maybe including more of the other departments to move to an enterprise. And then they're thinking about consolidating all the different portals that an employee needs to access into one single portal, which we are terming as employee destination site, and can cater for all employee needs. So with this vision in mind, we created the Employee Center. Now, Employee Center is packaged into two different store offerings. It's actually a store app. It's something that once you move into our family releases, you would add on from ServiceNow Store. And there's two separate store apps. One is Employee Center and one is Employee Center Pro. They're essentially one portal. It's just their capabilities are packaged into two different store apps. So Employee Center is all the capabilities that are associated with service delivery. So reporting issues, requesting items, finding service-related answers, that's basically knowledge, and completing your tasks. And this is, again, multi-department. And what Employee Center Pro application is doing, it's extending the Employee Center portal to include additional capabilities around employee communication and engagement. So this includes like staying informed on news, events, finding cross-enterprise answers, so basically knowledge that need not be residing within ServiceNow, or having targeted campaigns, and so on. Let me explain the lay of the land in terms of what we had in the past, what we have today, and how all of that fit together, and then we can pause for questions. So up till Quebec, which is our N-1 family release, we had two different portals that you may have heard from an employee perspective. One is Employee Service Center, one is Service Portal. Now, Service Portal is essentially a demo portal that we had built to demonstrate the capabilities of our Service Portal platform. But it was one that was available for all customers. It is in the platform with no licensing cost. So a lot of our customers actually did deploy Service Portal. On the other hand, our flagship employee portal was Employee Service Center, which was available only for as part of HRSD Pro and Enterprise license, and customers could separately license it. But it was mostly the HR customers who were leveraging it. We wanted to make sure that all our customers are able to leverage the good capabilities that Employee Service Center has, and at the same time, ensure that HRSD customers are still getting the nice, good-looking portal. So what we did is, for Rome, we picked up Employee Service Center, enhanced it, repackaged it, and rebranded it into Employee Center, and broke it into two parts. One part is made available for all customers, which caters to mostly the service delivery piece and has no licensing cost associated with it. So all customers can leverage it and sits at par with Service Portal. And then we have Employee Center Pro, which sits at par with Employee Service Center in terms of licensing. So customers would need to have HRSD Pro and Enterprise license or separately license it. Now, again, Employee Center is a service delivery-oriented portal, and Employee Center Pro extends it to include communication and engagement and makes it more like an employee destination site. Now, in the remaining time, I will open up these instances, walk you through the capabilities, and showcase a lot more of the product. But I do want to pause here and see if there are any questions.
Yeah, we don't have any as of yet, so there'll probably be some that'll come once you start doing some demos. So you're good right now.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Thomas. So here's a quick screenshot for this, but I think I have to reshare my screen. Just hold on, just to get to the demos. Cool. So what you see on the left-hand side is Employee Center. And what you see on the right-hand side is Employee Center Pro. Now, both these views are the out-of-box views. So essentially, if you download and configure these portals out of box, this is what they should look like without any extra configurations required. So the point that I'm trying to make are twofold. One, You can see that the look and feel of these portals are pretty complete. And this is very different from any of the portals that we have had in past. In past, we would have like Lego pieces and customers were expected to create an experience. But now we are shipping the product with a best practice oriented and a already nice looking portal out of the box. So this is more like plug and play for you. Second piece I want to highlight is as customers are moving from Employee Center to Employee Center Pro, they don't have to redesign the portal. You can see that the capabilities that we have built in for Employee Center Pro plug in with the same experience and kind of just build on top of it. Now, this is also very different from moving from Service Portal to ESC, which used to be like complete redesign of your portal. So we are avoiding that and making it easy for our customers to scale and do more with the platform. Now, let me pause here and let me open up an instance that basically has these portals. Thomas, let me know if you are facing any issues in the view, but hopefully you can see the screen well.
Yeah, we can see it. Looks good.
Okay, awesome. So what you're seeing right now is the Employee Center. This is the basic version. This is not the Pro version. Let me walk you through some of the main features over here. The first one that I want to call out is essentially this theme. This is a new theme that we have shipped with Employee Center, and it is maintained consistently across all pages and all different views within Employee Center. This is big because a lot of our customers would often struggle to do that. And any customer who would want to change this theme, we recommend it, and they can just use the out-of-box theme and modify it to get some idea on how to apply it consistently across different pages. So use it as an example for how to do the theming well. Second, I want to highlight is what we call curated experiences. It's essentially creation of it defines how an employee is discovering content, and it is based on a 3-tier topic structure, which we call taxonomy. And what I'm showcasing here is a mega menu that highlights the taxonomy for the employee. So within IT, it's basically IT, hardware, computers. It becomes a 3-tier topic structure. And then we have all the content. So catalog items, knowledge items, communications, as well as quick links associated with this topics, and that's how the employee would find these content items. Let me showcase that. So if I go on, let's say, browse IT, you would see all the subtopics associated with IT. You would also see requests as well as articles. There's no article tagged in this one, but I think hardware has one. Requests and articles show up on the same view, and this is what we term as unified browse. So essentially, an employee does not have to worry about whether I have to go to a catalog item or a knowledge item, knowledge page to find the help that I'm looking for. I can find it right through looking into a topic page. So this is one of the big ways of how an employee is finding content on the Employee Center portal. The other things that we have done is you would see a recommended for you widget. Now this widget is AI driven if you have the HRSD licenses, and what it is doing, it's surfacing the most used or popularity based articles and knowledge items out for the employee, and you can actually see which of these are most relevant for me and my profile and access them. There's another widget called Popular Topics widget. Now this is bringing up topics that are being accessed across the company the most. Again, a nice way to find content items that are relevant for the employee. Then at the bottom, there is a quick links widget, which essentially is a really nice looking way of highlighting some of the most used catalog items, knowledge articles, or even external links. So you could have, like, for example, system status is something that a lot of our customers configure as quick links. It's essentially a page that gives you the entire set of information around your current systems. Then the other thing I want to highlight on the homepage for Employee Center is this My Active Items widget. This is essentially providing a summary view of all the tasks that an employee is associated with or has active. It could be requests, it could be, if you have, let's say, walk-up experience, it could be reservations made, or if you have HRSD, then it could be tasks associated with that. It's something that a lot of our customers are enjoying. And then we also have like a nice, good-looking footer widget, and there's an option on top to configure additional things that you may want to ensure that the employee has easy access to. So my task and my request are already there, but you can add things like appointments, surveys, my cart, to make that experience a lot more rich. So this is Employee Center. Let's compare this with Employee Center Pro. Now, what Employee Center Pro is doing, it has added a really nice widget up on top, which is essentially our announcements widget. And what this is showing is it could be a banner, style content, or news that you want to just push in front of the employee. The coolest part about this is that these are actionable. So you're not just pushing communication, but you're also driving actionability on that communication by having a tasking capability built in this widget. And this widget is also available on our topic pages. Let me see if I have one configured, but essentially you can place this widget right on top over here and have campaigns or communication communicated right at the level of a topic page of a particular topic. Additionally, there are widgets like videos widgets and all the content. When I say content, it's like communication content related items that you could place on the homepage. So this is a summary of all the things that we talked about. So just to highlight once again, the content experiences widget, which is this good looking widget over here, is Pro. The videos widget, upcoming events widget, all of these are Pro, Employee Center Pro widgets or capabilities. Now, the thing that doesn't get highlighted when we are doing this walkthrough is that we have a new approvals workflow. So we essentially have we have enhanced the way approvals are handled within the page, and the approver can actually see what past approvals they have made, what additional details they need to know to make the approval decision without getting into the actual approval request, and if they're rejecting, they have to essentially just write the reason right there to make it easy for the requestee to know why it was rejected. So you kind of enhance the approval experience as part of Employee Center too. And then as part of our November release, we have created a new experience for content delivery and authoring, which makes it very easy for non-technical users to create content and post it on our portal. So a lot of capabilities being shipped as part of Employee Center. We spoke about this. I'm not going to go too deep into it. I do want to highlight that the thing that I like the most about Employee Center is that it is truly omni-channel. The experience that you create for a web view is actually replicated on the mobile view as well. You would see the same the look and feel of the topic pages on the mobile experience, and that kind of literally unifies the experience for an employee as the employee navigates from different systems and through different departments. So a really big thing about Employee Center. We spoke about dynamic topic pages and the unified browse. This page kind of summarizes the capabilities that are available with Employee Center and compares that with Employee Center Pro. Now, as you're reading this page, I want to say, think of this capabilities listed or functionalities listed on the left-hand side as different rails that you can take with Employee Center. What trains you are able to ride on those rails is dependent on what licensing you have. So to give you an example, virtual agent is compatible with the Employee Center as well as Employee Center Pro. But whether you get virtual agent Lite or a full VA depends on the separate licensing that you have for virtual agent. So Employee Center is not giving you that license. Hope that is clear. And then the other thing is, like, we walk through these capabilities, but Employee Center is essentially focused on everything that is associated with service delivery, and Employee Center Pro is mostly around content experiences, content publishing. So it's more around employee engagement and communications. I'm going to cover one more slide, and then that will probably answer some of the questions that are being raised on the chat as well, and then we can pause for questions. So what's the impact of Employee Center launch? I'm going to start from the right-hand side and then move towards left from on this page. So Employee Center, like I said, is available for all customers. It's a better looking portal. It's foundational in the sense that you can start from a very basic level on Employee Center and then scale it to do a lot more. So we are recommending all our customers, for any new portal implementation that they're doing, to start with Employee Center. And of course, if you are HRSD Pro customer, you would deploy Employee Center Pro. And if you don't have the specific Employee Center Pro license, you would deploy Employee Center. So that's one. Second, customers who were on Employee Service Center, when they move to Roam, they will automatically see the name change to Employee Center Pro because we have rebranded the Employee Service Center portal. And for them, the move to Employee Center Pro is an upgrade. So essentially, they will have all the Employee Center Pro capabilities available to them, and they'll evaluate and opt in which of those they want to push in their environment, just like any other upgrade. The catch here is that Employee Center is a store app, so they'll have to go and get the latest version from the store app to get the latest capabilities. Customers who are on Service Portal, our recommendation for them is to migrate to Employee Center to take advantage of all the new experiences and capabilities that we are building. But we will not be depreciating Service Portal at the moment. Because we know a lot of customers have invested in it. In the long term, we don't have that timeline planned yet. So we are highly encouraging customers who are using Service Portal currently to evaluate Employee Center and, if possible, incorporate specific capabilities from Employee Center into their existing portal so that they can plan their move to Employee Center slowly. Let me cover a few important details and then we will pause for questions. So one, it is delivered via ServiceNow store. So once any customer upgrades to Roam, they have to go on ServiceNow store, get the latest version and install it. It was launched in September. So that's the first version with full capabilities that you will see. And we do quarterly releases. So we had November release and now we will have in February. For any ESC customer and any of those licensing associated with ESC, they're all renamed to Employee Center Pro. So you will see that reflect in your product as well as in your licensing. And the key thing to remember is that we still are retaining the /ESC naming in the portal. So you would see that retained in the portal. Third, Employee Center is built on the Service portal platform. So all the good things that you got with Service Portal, that is a Service Portal designer, 200 plus widgets, flexibility to do like changes, configurations, and do like create your own experiences. All of that still is there with Employee Center. We're just giving you a better starting point and new capabilities that are easily extensible to do different things that you may want to. All right, let's pause for questions here.
Okay, so a couple did come in, and I think that you probably answered the first one, but I'll go ahead and repeat it. So the question is Employee Center Pro replacing Service Portal? And you said that with new customers or even existing, it's highly recommended. Well, new customers go directly to Employee Center. Existing customers start using over to Employee Center. So I think that another question on that, we know that Service Portal is not going away, like you said, not yet. But I guess the question that may even answer this more is that if you have something that you've already created inside of Service Portal, is that essentially the same thing that you're seeing in Service Portal? Would it already be there in Employee Center? So if there was a page that you created that you can see in Service Portal, can those same pages be automatically seen in Employee Center? Or is it required to create a new page or whatnot? How's it? Because that may even lead to the next question, which is, can you provide more details on the procedure to migrate the existing Server Portal over to Employee Center?
Yeah, absolutely. So Employee Center is a new portal implementation for you. So this is just for Service Portal customers. It's different from Employee Service Center customer, and I'll talk about it. But for Service Portal, this is a new portal implementation. So you will have to move the configurations that you made in Service Portal and you want to retain to Employee Center. So if you had a new page in Service Portal, you will have to associate that page with Employee Center or create that page in Employee Center. We did do a academy session for this migration path. And I'll actually post that link to the academy session into chat before the end of the session, and would highly encourage you to attend that. We, just like this academy session, we record it and post it on YouTube, and we cover a lot more details around the migration and into all of the capabilities that I'm talking about as well.
Okay, great. Yeah, and we'll make sure that we attach that to this community event as well. So another question that came in that says, what will be the release cycle for Employee Center now that it's available via the ServiceNow store? Is it going to be monthly? How is that going to work?
It's going to be quarterly. As a company, we're moving towards quarterly releases instead of monthly. So we had a September release, a November release, and our next one is February. So we will definitely maintain a quarterly release cycle for this.
Okay, great. And then another one, with Rome, is Employee Center Pro licensed?
Yes. So let me go back to the licensing slide. It's basically the same as Employee Service Center. So you get it, Employee Center Pro, as part of your license if you have the HRSD Pro or Enterprise license. That is HRSD Enterprise. Or you could separately license Employee Center Pro.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so and more questions can come in, but I want to make sure that we tie this back to performance analytics and reporting. So in our previous session that was on November the 17th, where we talked about Service Portal reporting, we actually showed how you were actually able to do that. And Pooja, I'm going to go ahead and take sharing back here real quick.
Yep.
And what I want to do is I want to make sure that we're able to see how we can do this inside of the Employee Center as well. So let me see if we can answer this one real quick. Will Service Portal be depreciated in future releases? I mean, I would, maybe you want to answer that, Pooja. I know that you talked about that briefly, but I don't know if there's a timeline on that or not, but maybe you have an answer.
There's no timeline on that, but eventually it will become one of our legacy. So we will ship all the new capabilities on Employee Center.
Okay, great. Okay, so again, here is the session where we talked about Service Portal, and in this session, I actually talked about how, you know, it was recommended in going forward that customers use Employee Center. So I felt it was important that we make sure that we we shared this information, especially if you're not even familiar with the academy sessions, the other academy sessions that Pooja herself does. So it'd be good that we can tie that here and you can get even more information about it. But I want to make sure that I actually show as well that adding performance analytics and reporting it really works the same exact way. I mean, there is really not that, I haven't noticed a change yet. Now I'm sure the more dynamic or whatnot that you want to get with something, of course, anything could change. But what I want to do real quick is I kind of just want to show how that works again. So I'm going to do this in a live instance. So this is actually the same instance that Pooja yourself was showing earlier. And this is the employee center page that is off of that instance. And you can see the ESC here. So what I'm going to do is quickly, I'm just going to add some PA and reporting so we can see it here. So in my mind, I think a really good place to maybe put it is right here on the Browse IT page when it loads there. So if you're ever not sure exactly of what the page name is in order for you to search it in the pages, it's usually going to be right up here. So this actually tells me what the name of the page is that I'm going to actually add some information onto it. So again, this being IT, the very high level IT, maybe we add out there some information like major incidents or even, open incidents by state or something like that. Very simple PA widget, and then also a very simple report. But again, I just want to make sure that I show you exactly how this works. So when I go back to the instance, and again, if you just type pages here, and then you'll actually see service portal pages here as well. It's the same exact place. And then what I want to do is I want to look for that particular one. Now it's actually here, right here for me. I can see it right here. But if you had to search for it, again, you could pull that information directly out of here, and then you could just search for that inside of the ID. But I'm going to go ahead and go into that page real quickly. And then the same way that we did it before, I want to go down and open in Designer, and this will open up the actual Designer, and it will be that particular page that we were looking at in the browser. And the same way that we did it before, where it's a drag and drop, functionality, I'm just going to grab a container and I'm just going to drag it. And this may show up weirdly on the page somewhere, but again, it's just to kind of give you an idea. So now I have two containers that I can add information into. And then right here under the filter widget, all I want to do is type in performance. And you can see the performance analytics pops up. Again, I'm going to drag that out to one of those containers. And then it's going to give me an edit pencil and also a delete. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on this. And then I'm going to search for one that I know has some information, major incidents open today. And then I want to show that. I'm going to show that title and then save that. Okay. And that's going to add that directly into the page itself. And there it is. So now if I go back out here and actually just refresh this page, it should pop up somewhere on the page here. And again, based on where it's at, we can see that it's popping up here. There it is. Something's going on with my title. But I think that, maybe we just go in here again, show title. There it is. And we save it. And now we can actually see that title. So again, that's simple. We were able to add that. Now that may not be the best place that you want it. You may say, why would we put it there? This is just for demonstration purposes that you can still do the same way inside of Employee Center that you were doing inside of Service Portal. So how do we add a report? So I'm going to go into my other container here, and I'm going to, first I need to go over here and I need to find report. And I'm just going to grab it again, and I'm going to drag it out, and it's going to give me the pencil, and then delete it as well. And then I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to look for just something. Let's see what we got. Let's do open incidents by, let's try priority, and we'll show that title again, and then we'll hit save. And then that'll add that. It's building it out. Now, again, this is pretty big. So we might want to, resize that or whatnot, and you can do that. But again, if we go here and we refresh it, now we'll see both of those side by side. Again, aesthetically, maybe that doesn't look right. I don't really know why I put it on top of each other, but it may not aesthetically look right. And you think, well, again, why would I put that there? But again, it's just the idea that you can add this information. Another really great thing about doing it here is that if you wanted to actually make changes inside of that particular widget, you can do them directly from here by clicking on the info button. And when you click on this little info button, it brings up all of that information. So if it had a breakdown on it, you could add that on there. You could do all of this very similar things that you can do directly inside of the widget, directly here inside of this this particular page. So I don't want to edit any of this information, but I at least wanted to show you that you could change some things here and apply those directly onto the page as well. So again, you know, this is the idea, is just to kind of show you that you have the ability. Now you kind of have to decide where exactly you want to put something. So that is there. So real quickly, let's see if any questions have come in, and we'll answer those if I can get back to my PowerPoint. So
yep, a couple questions here now.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Will reporting widgets, dashboards, PA, etc., be accessible through the Employee Center to all users, i.e. users without report viewer, PA viewer roles? Pooja, that might be a question for you if you're very familiar with roles.
So it depends on, so anything in Employee Center in general, the widgets are available if the user has access to it. So I would say that user would need to have access to the reports that are being created to be able to see it on Employee Center.
Okay. And you know, Pooja, I apologize that I didn't see that you wanted me to add it on that system status page, but
no worries. I can give you a little bit of more context. So like one thing that I did not mention when I was presenting Employee Center was that currently the topic page's design is consistent across all topics. So if you edit one topic page, you're essentially editing and making that widget available for all other topic pages. Because of that, the topic placing a performance analytics widgets, which is basically talking about major incidents open today, might not be a good idea to put it on IT, because then that will be visible on all topic pages.
Yep.
Instead, there is a system status page, and Thomas, you can probably just open the system status page. That would be a better place to put widgets like this. So as you are creating widgets and placing your dashboards, you will have to be mindful of the experience that you are creating. That was the reason why I was saying that let's place it on that and not on the topic page.
Okay.
But the process of doing this is exactly the same. So no changes in that part.
Yeah, we can go to that page quickly. Maybe. There we go. It's right here. And let me make sure I get in the right scope. But it works. It works the same exact way. And that's a good point. I appreciate you bringing that up, that it would be across all of them. So, and this is, you know, with system status, this may be more important. So again, we would just drag containers out here, and then we would pop in any information that we wanted to directly from there. So the next question is, and let me just go ahead real quick and let me just add something where we want to put that. Maybe we put it right here. And let me add in a report, because a question that we have is related to reports. And let me drag that down there. Oh, I guess you don't want me, you don't want to let me put it there. Okay, let me find somewhere else to put it. Oh, okay, my which one did it say it was in again? Let me change my scope. The page is in Rhino Global. Okay. Let me go back over here. What did it say? It said Rhino. Does that look familiar to you, Pooja?
Yeah, we did this yesterday. So
Yeah, I know. It's the pages in the Rhino go back, but Employee Center is your current
can
application.
you just check like the system page, that status you picked up is the one associated
Oh, I
with?
might be on the wrong one. Okay,
Yeah.
good point. Okay. Yep, that's the right one.
Can you just go global and try?
Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so let's add a report. And we'll just add the same one that we had so we can look at that. Because the question is that in Service Portal, when you clicked on a report, clicked into it, it would take you to a list view. And the question is, does it do the same thing in Employee Center? So let's see.
I think it should do the same thing. We can
It
verify.
looks like it's taking you back inside of the instance, and it looks like it's taking you to a list view of those. Yes.
So just to give a little bit more
Sorry,
context,
Holly.
the experience that you see with the widgets or the behaviors that you see with this performance analytics widget on Service Portal should be exactly the same with Employee Center. So Employee Center has not changed any of that. So you should expect exactly the same.
And I'm guessing, but I'm going to go ahead and ask that anyway to Holly. I'm guessing probably the want is for it to stay directly inside of Employee Center rather than it having to go back to the instance is probably what. Correct. Yeah, Holly gave a frown face. That's okay. Do you know, Pooja, if there's any future ideas of being able to click directly into one of these containers and it open up something directly in the container? I'm sure you could probably do it with some scripting, some sort of way. And I don't really want to get into that now, but and if not, and if you can't answer that, then Holly, we can definitely maybe that's an idea for the ideal portal to put in to say, hey, you know, this is something that we would like to see in the future. And Holly, you're not the first that I've heard that from. And I believe that same question was asked in that last session. So that's a great question. Any thoughts on that, Pooja, at all?
I'm not aware of this being like really high up in the roadmap. So definitely suggest to put it on the idea portal and take it from there.
Okay. So I don't know how we got into asking the questions into chat, but Dan, are you working some of these or?
Yeah, I was just Sebastian had just asked him, so I was trying, and so if we can make sure we try to get those back into the Q&A so we can more efficiently address those. But yeah, I just wanted to answer because it was asked in chat, so I just answered the one in chat.
Okay. Yeah. If everybody can ask their questions inside of the Q&A, that way we can either type you an answer out and then everyone will be able to see that. And then also, yeah, there's another big one there. And then also if we need to answer it live, we can do that. Real quick, Pooja, another one came in and says, so if a user currently has Service Portal access in ServiceNow today, would it be safe to assume that they will have similar access in Employee Center? Yes. Or is there a new role required?
No. They would have, all our customers have access to Service Portal, Employee Center. It's Employee Center Pro that has this question of like, who has access. But all our customers, whether they are App Engine customers, IT customers, or WSD customers, they all have Employee Center access.
Okay, great. So going back real quick, I think Dima mentioned that if a drill down report has been created for another report, that it should open up in the container. And we can definitely try that and see if that is the reality or not. But I think that even if that drill down goes to let's say that, you were to click on 5 planning, and then maybe you wanted to see all of those 5 planning by a particular category, and then click on it again, it would still go down to a list report. I don't think a list report is going to be visible inside of Employee Center. I know a list report was not available in Service Portal, so I think it's going to be the same thing. But I think you bring up a good point, Dima, that you can create a drill down, and I think that same drill down action would work here directly inside Employee Center, inside of this container. But again, if it's last source, and most of them are last is to a list view, it's always going to take itself back to the instance. So, but great point, Dima. I appreciate you bringing that up. So, oh, is Holly saying not in portal? You're saying that action does not happen inside a portal. Let's see.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
You know that for a fact, Dan?
No, I'm saying I believe, I am pretty sure. Yeah. So she says she's tried. Yeah. So
have you tried it inside of Employee Center, Holly?
No. Okay.
Okay. Let's just try it real quick. We can easily create a drill down. If I can find that report, and I think I did it by priority. Is that the same one? Open incidents by priority. Okay. Yep, that's the same one. So if we create a drill down and we say open incidents priority, drill down. Sorry about my long title. And then let's see, type, we'll make it, maybe we'll do another pie, and then we want to group by category. There we go. All right, we run that. Okay, there we go. All right, so if we save, okay. I don't know how instant that is going to be, but we're just going to refresh it here, and then we will. We go. Back to the home page, and then we'll go back to system status. And there's our report. And look at that, it does. So it will drill down inside of that same container. And now I'm guessing if we want to go and look at these 22 for inquiry, it then is going to take you back to the instance. So if that didn't happen in Service Portal, it looks like it is happening now inside of Employee Center. So that's a good thing.
And just to clarify too, that the drill down into the list view is just going to be limited still by the user's access to those records.
Correct, absolutely. So if there are ACLs on that particular data,
yep,
then it will only show what they're able to. And again, Holly, the list view, needs to keep you in the center. I would just suggest, put in an idea in the portal, and it may already be there, but yeah. So, Dan, was there anything? Where'd my mouse go? Lost my mouse. There it is. Was there anything else that was inside of the chat that came in that you want to talk to?
Let me
I know
unmute.
that you were talking with Sebastian and stuff, or if not,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm trying to see his. Yeah, I think it's probably more of a specific to Sebastian scenario where he's got records that are generated, so like a defect that is generated from a user's incident, and is saying so where the user could be maybe on the watch list, but they're not the but they're not the caller on a defect, for example. So I don't think they would have access to that. But yeah, I think that's what we're talking about. So I think that's a little more specific scenario. If that might be a good one to either we could either table it for, well, actually we're coming up near the top of the hour anyway. I was gonna say table it till the end of the session to see if we have time for it, or put that in the community and we can try to answer that a little more. We have a little more time to answer it there.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea, because it then would also include, other customers that may actually be kind of familiar with what he's talking about. So Sebastian, I would say if you could take that question,
Exactly.
add that into the community, and with Dan talking to you specifically about it, and then of course myself, you're definitely welcome to tag us in that. But
Yep.
Maybe there will even be other people inside of the community, whether it be ServiceNow employees or customers that may be able to answer that for you as well. Yeah. Okay. Well, great. So let's go ahead and kind of we'll close out now. If another one happens to pop in, we'll answer that. But some of the other things that we always talk about at the end of these is make sure that you're using the Performance Analytics Academy community page. Specifically, looking at the recordings. This will be out there later on today. It'll be out on YouTube as well, and we'll update the event, and the event will have all of the information that you need into it. We'll also put in the link to the Academy session that Pooja was talking about earlier, which will be good for you to watch as well if you're very new to Employee Center. And that's a great tool just to get some really good information. So, and then our community page as a whole, make sure that you're going there, utilizing that, ask questions, look for any existing things that may be out there. You may not need to ask a question. It may have already been answered. Utilizing the getting started, hit the ground running, keep pushing, our academy as well, essential training, and then the power of the community, which actually will pulls all of the articles and blogs that are out there and tries to put them in some sort of particular topic that may help you easily find things as well that you need. Always utilize Now Learning. If you don't have an account, you should create an account. There's really good information out there. There's also still some K-20 labs that are in there, and some K-21 labs that are in there as well. So utilize that information. The more training you get, the better off you are. Here's some other academies that you may want to check out: Platform Foundations, Mobile App, and Virtual Agent. And Pooja, I apologize, what's the name of the academy session? Is it Employee Center?
Yes, it's Employee Center Academy, and I've posted a link to that in chat.
Okay, all right. I got to make sure that I grab that before we close this thing out, so I can put that somewhere. So check out those sessions as well. And this is, we always put this out here. If you've ever have a question that you want to ask inside of the community, this is a really great article on how best to do that to make sure that you get the answers that you need. Use screenshots when you can. If something has to be blurred out, then make sure that you do that. But quite often I'll hear people ask for screenshots. It definitely does help. But this is a great article on how to best write or ask questions in the community. And this is just a follow-up to everything that I said that we talked about. And then again, there will be no session on December 29th in recognition of the holidays. So please enjoy that time with family and friends. And that is all we have. So again, Pooja, I appreciate you coming and giving us some really great information. I appreciate everybody asking questions. And I just appreciate everybody coming and being in attendance. I know December is one of those funny months where there's a lot of people taking time off. So the fact that you're here is greatly appreciated. And if you need anything, just find us on the community, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Thanks, Dan, as well. Thank you.